What's going on? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple. The new iPads are here, and some of you might even be watching the show on them. I can assure you, I'm much bigger in real life. Now, there are no big secrets here with the iPads, but let's take a look at a first look review of the iPad mini with Scott Stein.
When the iPad mini was announced, the whole idea was to take the iPad experience and make it smaller. And lo and behold, this is a really small device. And you notice the design is different, and it's really taking a page more from the iPod Touch. It's a curved, anodized aluminum shell that goes all the way around the sides and is flat on the back and curved on the edges, and the taper over here as sort of an aluminum bezel is a lot like the iPhone 5s. There's a 5-megapixel iSight camera on the back. There's an HD FaceTime camera on the front. That's similar to the 5th generation iPod Touch and similar to what's on the new 4th gen iPad. There's no flash on the back, but you can shoot 1080p video and you can take FaceTime calls in HD. You have a much faster processor at that top end level at an A6X, and this is an A5. So you have a performance gap, and you also have a Retina display on that end, and you also have a price difference. The 4th generation iPad starts at $499 for 16 gigabytes. This is $330 for starting with 16 gigabytes, and this at $330 is a premium. But when you pick it up, it's going to be hard to put back down. I'm Scott Stein, and that's a look at the new iPad mini, available November 2nd.
All right, guys, it's still a cool product and a nice addition to the lineup if you're willing to pay for it. But no Retina display is still a turnoff for me at that price, especially with a 7-inch Nexus at $199 for 16 gigs. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out this holiday season. Now, Amazon wants to make sure you know the iPad mini isn't the only kid on the block with a front page comparison between the mini and the Kindle Fire HD. Now, Amazon claimed the Mini only had a mono speaker, but Phil Schiller responded to a customer email saying, nah, it is stereo. He actually used those words. Now, in response, Amazon then took down the comparison, and Phil Schiller responded with, rock on. Now, the semi-controversial iPad 4th generation is also available, and it delivers on its claims of being twice as fast when benchmarks appeared in the Geekbench database and showed off performance about double the speed of the 3rd gen iPad, and it's the fastest mobile device Apple has produced to date. CNET also received confirmation from Apple that iTunes 11 will in fact be delayed for a release in November in order to get it right. Now, this is a good thing, people, and after what we've seen with Siri's performance and Maps, it's better to wait. Plus, iTunes 11 is just another thing that we can be thankful for in November, along with family, friends, good health, and my personal favorite, slinky tricks. You can't do that. Trust me. I've tried. Now, in big news that might not be the sexiest, but very significant, Apple announced a major change-up in their executive management team. Senior Vice President of iOS Software, Scott Forstall, will be leaving the company in 2013. The guy who stares directly into your soul during Apple videos? Well, he's played a big part in the evolution of Apple's mobile iOS, but reports from multiple outlets says part of his departure had to do with Forstall's refusal to sign an apology letter for Apple's revamped and embarrassing Maps fiasco. Tim Cook put his name on the apology, but Forstall didn't. Forstall was also known inside the company for creating tension between the executives and having an abrasive style that also clashed with head of industrial design, Jonathan Ive. Johnny Ive, Scott Forstall, Johnny Ive. Now, in addition to his current job, Ive will also take over leadership of human interface, and I immediately expect we'll see a more unified look between some of the services, so say goodbye to the Greenfelt Game Center. Senior Vice President of Mac Software Engineering, Craig Federighi, will now lead both the iOS and OS X teams moving forward. In addition to that big change, Senior Vice President of Retail John Browett is stepping down effective immediately after only 8 months on the job. He was criticized for his cutbacks on staffing and an increased focus on profitability at the expense of Apple's customer service, according to some retail employees. Now, guys, I see this shakeup as a good thing, and we'll see how this all plays out in the long run. All right, let's take a peek at the app of the week. I've been telling you about how ridiculous Google's voice search is, and now it's finally available to iOS users in the Google Search app. It's fast, like
Bruce
real
Lee?
fast, and fast don't lie. Plus, if you ask for something like the weather, it gives you an instant result and a really cool interface that allows you to scroll through the hours each day. Now, Siri has an edge when it comes to the look and feel of results when you ask for things like sports scores or even nearby restaurants. So it depends on what you're looking for, but Google search is worth checking out, and it's my favorite price, free. Also, guys, last week we told you we would read a few of your emails with your impressions from Apple's keynotes to see if you think Apple has lost some of its magic. Roland Josiah chimes in with, "Nope. I think we have become quite spoiled and expect Apple to sweep us off our feet every time they introduce a new product. But to be completely honest with you, I was impressed with all the new products except the iPad mini." But Roland, I like being swept off my feet. Just like the San Francisco Giants did to the Detroit Tigers in the World Series, 4-0. Alexandria Eisen writes in and says, "Yo, Brian." Yo, Alexandria. Apple has definitely lost some of their magic. Their products are still good, but they just aren't the ones pushing the industry anymore. I switched to a Galaxy Nexus after my disappointment in the 4S announcement, and I've been using Apple products since well before they released any iPhone. You know, I don't think you're the only one. Emma Doka from Twitter writes in with, "I should have won because I'm Kenyan. Hashtag one love." That's crazy, Madoka. I'm Kenyan as well.
No, you're not.
Well, because of that, I'm giving you, check this out, a spec case for an iPhone 5 and an iPad. Nakupenda. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show, guys. Email us at theapplebyte@cnet.com, and I will answer your questions. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for another Bite of the Apple.